Hi friends, my name is Milan Dolaria. In this video, I will explain you exercise 2.4 question number 5. So let's start it. First of all, read this question, factorize, and first question, x cube minus 2x square minus x plus 2. Okay, we need to factorize it. Here, this is a cubic polynomial, right? Because degree is equals to 3. Now degree means highest power of variable, it is 3. So this is a cubic polynomial. Okay, these things we already learned in our theory part. So this is a cubic polynomial and we need to factorize it. We do not have any specific method to factorize the cubic polynomial. Okay, we do not have any specific method to factorize cubic polynomial. So we need to use the trial and error method. Okay, in trial and error method, we just need to apply some value to this polynomial and we need to check it. Okay, first of all, in cubic polynomial, we need to find one factor. Okay, first of all, we need to find one factor, and that factor we can find by using the trial and error method. Now, what is trial and error method? First of all, factor means what? Means it is the value of x, right? Factor means what? If we divide this polynomial by its factor, then we get remainder as a 0, right? If we divide this polynomial by its factor, then we get remainder as a 0. So right now we can use remainder theorem. That means just put the value of x and find out such that value of x so that we get p of x is equals to 0. That means if we put the value of x, then our polynomial needs to become 0. Okay, so here we need to find that value of x. So we need to try out some value of x, right? We need to try some value. That means first of all, put x is equals to 1 and check it, answer becomes 0 or not. If it does not become 0, then put x is equals to minus 1. Okay, then check x is equals to 2, then check x is equals to minus 2 and try out for some values. Okay, whatever value p of x becomes 0, that is the zeros of polynomial, that becomes the factor of this polynomial. Okay, so first of all, what we need to do, just put 1 here in place of x. So 1 cube minus 2x square. So in place of x we need to write 1, then minus 1 plus 2. Okay, now 1 cube, it is 1, then 1 square 1 into 2, it's a 2. Okay, here minus 1 and plus 2. Plus 2 minus 2 cancel, 1 minus 1 cancel, so 0. So here we get 0. Okay, that means x minus 1 is a factor of this polynomial, because here we put x is equals to 1, right? Now transfer this 1 to the left hand side, so it becomes x minus 1. So this is one factor of this polynomial. Why? Because already we check it that x minus 1 is a factor of polynomial or not. In that, what we do, we just take x minus 1 is equals to 0. We find out the value of x and that value we put in the p of x. And we are checking that if remainder becomes 0, then we can say that this is one factor of polynomial. So now we use here reverse method. We directly put the value of x and from that we just try to find the factor. Okay, here for x is equals to 1, p of x becomes 0. So just transfer this 1 to the left hand side, it becomes x minus 1, so that x minus 1 is a factor of this polynomial. That means if you divide this polynomial by x minus 1, you will get the remainder as a 0. Okay, so we need to try out some value of x and we need to just check it for what value of x p of x becomes 0. It is called a zeros of polynomial, right? So we need to check it. for x is equals to -1 and for x is equals to +1, we have one different method even. That means first of all, just find the coefficient. So here coefficient of x cube, it is 1 because nothing is there. Here coefficient -2, here coefficient -1, and here +2. Now add our coefficients. Okay, now add our coefficients. So 1 minus 2 minus 1 plus 2. So +2 minus 2 cancel, 1 minus 1 cancel, 0. So if we add our coefficient of polynomial and if we get 0, right, if our coefficient, sum of coefficient becomes 0, then x minus 1 is a factor of p of x. Okay, then x minus 1 is a factor of p of x. Previously in GSCB textbook, it is given that this is one theorem. That means if addition of coefficient becomes 0, then x minus 1 is a factor of p of x. Because if you put x is equal to 1, then this is your answer and this answer becomes 0. That's why, right? And if you want to put x is equal to 1, right, and if you transfer this one to the left hand side, it becomes x minus 1. So we can say that if sum of coefficient of the polynomial becomes 0, then x minus 1 is a factor of p of x. So here we can say that x minus 1 is a factor of polynomial. Okay, x minus 1 is a factor of polynomial. So first of all, we need to find the first vector that we get here, x minus 1. Okay, now we can find other factors. Before that, if sum of coefficient is not equals to 0, then just check the coefficient of odd terms and coefficient of even terms, and if answer is same, then we can say that x plus 1 is a factor of p of x. Okay, I will explain these things you later on, means in question number 2, 3 or 4. Okay, right now we get our first factor, it is x minus 1. Now how we can find the other factor? We have two methods. First of all, we can use the division method. Okay, that means divide our original polynomial by its first factor, that means x minus 1. Okay, here first of all, what we, before explanation of this division, you need to understand the simple division. Okay, just 17 divided by 3. First of all, what we need to try here, we need to go closer with the 17, right? 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9, 3 4s are 12, then 3 5s are 15. So we need to get go closer, right? So, and here we use subtraction process. Okay, here we use subtraction process. And other thing, here 5 multiply 3 and we write answer here. We need to do multiplication and we need to put answer here. Okay, then 17 minus 15, it is 2. Okay, this is our division process. That means whatever we write here, we need to multiply it and we need to write here. And second thing, we need to use subtraction process. Okay, so first of all, we have x cube minus 2x square minus x plus 2 divided by x minus 1. First of all, our terms needs to be as per the sequence wise. That means here exponent 3, here 2, here nothing is there, so 1 and constant term. That is already we have here. Okay, so no need to arrange anything. Now for the answer, first of all, divide first term by first term. That means x cube divided by x. X cube, that means we need to write x 3 times, divided by x, x cut. So here x multiply x, it is x square, right? So this x square we need to write in the answer. Okay, we need to write in the answer. Why we do here? Why we do that? because we just try to go closer with the first term. Okay, here I am writing x square. Now I need to multiply this x square with x minus 1, right? We need to apply multiplication process in x square and x minus 1. So if I multiply x square with x, it is x cube, and x square with 1, it is x square only, right? So this answer I need to write here, x cube minus x square. Okay, so here just write down x cube minus x square. Now we need to use subtraction process. So subtraction process always changes the sign. Okay, so this plus x cube becomes minus and this minus becomes plus. Okay, now we do not need to consider this sign, we only consider this sign. Now here plus x cube minus x cube, it is cancel. That's why we put x square here, because we try to cut our first term. Okay, that's why. So here plus x cube minus x cube cancel. Here we have minus 2, here we have plus 1, right? Nothing is there, so plus 1 square. So plus minus minus, 2 minus 1 1, x square as it is. Big number sign, it is minus 2, so we need to put negative sign here, and then this minus x comes to the downside. Now here again we need to do same process, just divide first term with first term. So minus 1 x square divided by x, so this x is cut with the exponent, so finally we get minus 1x. So that we need to write in the answer. Okay, minus 1x. So write down minus x. Then we need to multiply this minus x with this x minus 1. So minus x multiply x minus 1. So minus x is multiplied with x, it is x square plus minus minus. Here minus minus plus, x into 1, it is x. So answer is minus x square plus x. Okay, minus x square plus x. Again we need to use subtraction process, so we need to change the sign. This minus becomes plus, this plus becomes minus. So plus x square minus x square cancel. Here we have minus x, and here even we have minus x. Minus minus plus, x plus x, it is 2x. Big number sign, it is negative, and here plus 2 comes to the downside. So minus 2x plus 2. Okay, minus 2x plus 2. Again we need to divide first term with first term. So minus 2x divided by x. So minus 2x divided by x, then x cut, your answer is minus 2. That you need to write in the answer. Okay, so here just write down minus 2. Now if you multiply minus 2 with this bracket x minus 1, so minus 2 into x minus 2x. Again minus minus plus 2. Here we need to change the sign, plus and minus. So at last your plus 2x minus 2x cancel, and plus 2 minus 2 cancel. So finally you get remainder as a 0. Okay, finally you will get remainder as a 0. So this is your answer of division, x square minus x minus 2. Okay, if you want to understand this method properly, that means division of polynomial by polynomial, then just check it my standard 10 video. Okay, standard 10 chapter 2. In that I fully explain this division process, how we can divide our polynomial by polynomial. Okay, so here answer is x square minus x minus 2. Now as per the remainder theorem, p of x is equals to g of x into q of x plus r of x. Here our remainder is 0, so we do not need to write this. So this is our p of x, this is our g of x, this is our q of x. Okay, So we use here division theorem. P of x is equals to Q of x into Q of x. Okay, now we need to factorize this. Okay, this is our first factor. Now further we can simplify this bracket, right? That we already learned in our question number 4. That means middle term splitting. Okay, so here we have x square minus x minus 2. So here coefficient of x square nothing is there, so 1. Here minus 2, right? So 2 ones are 2 and minus. So here we need to factorize 2, right? Here we need to divide 2 into 2 part, and here we have negative sign. So we need to use subtraction process, and we want middle term 1. Okay, so 2 ones are 2 and 2 minus 1 1. Okay, so our 2 factor 2 and 1, because 2 ones are 2, that means if we multiply it we get 2, but if we subtract it 2 minus 1, then we get our middle term, and that we want here. One more thing, here we have a negative sign, so we need to give different sign to our factors, right? So middle term sign we need to give to our big factor minus, right? And here I need to give plus sign to my other factor. So my one factor is minus 2, second factor is plus 1. Okay, minus 2 plus 1. So here x square as it is, then minus 2x plus 1x minus 2. Okay, first term as it is, last term as it is. In place of middle term we need to write that two factors. Middle term splitting, that means we need to split our middle term. Okay, now in this two term we can take x as a common, right? So 1x is cut from here, so 1x remaining. Here negative sign, this x is already common, so 2 is remaining, right? So x in bracket x minus 2 plus here x minus 2. Here we need to write this bracket x minus 2. Now just check my third term. Here it is plus 1, right? We want plus 1x, so x already we have, so outside we need to write plus 1. Okay, so plus 1 into x, it becomes plus x, right? Now x minus 2 we can take as a common. Okay, then what is remaining here? X plus 1, so x plus 1. Okay, x minus 2, x plus 1. So at last, up to last step, we need to write x minus 1 as it is. Okay, we need to factorize the second term. So at last we get x minus 1, x minus 2, x plus 1. So right now factorization is done, because we have this 3 factor and it is in multiplication relation, right? Because brackets are there, that's why. So this is the 3 factor that we want. Okay, if we do not want to use a division process, then we have one more method, but it is applicable only for the linear polynomial. That means in g of x, if we have linear polynomial, at that time we can use this method. In other method, what we need to do, we just need to write the coefficient of this. Now first of all, coefficient of x cube, it is 1. Coefficient of x square, it is minus 2. Coefficient of x, it is minus 1. And constant term, it is 2. Right? We need to write the coefficients. Right? Here we have x cube minus 2x square minus x plus 2. So coefficient of x cube, nothing is there, so 1, minus 2, minus 1 and plus 2 as it is. Okay, so write down first of all coefficient 1, minus 2, minus 1 and 2. Now just make one table. Now here we need to write the value of x. That means here we say that x minus 1 is our one factor, right? We already get it. x minus 1 is our one factor. So here find out the value of x. That means take is equals to 0. Transfer minus 1 to the right hand side. It is plus 1. So here you need to write plus 1. Okay. Again, first of all, what is our factor? We can say that x minus 1 is our factor. So take is equals to 0 and find out the value of x. So x is equals to, transfer this minus 1 to the right hand side. It becomes plus 1. Right? So x is equals to plus 1. Or that one we need to write in our box. Okay. So write down 1 here. Now, first of all, we need to put 0 here. Every time at this place we need to put 0. Right? Now in column wise, we need to use the addition subtraction process. Okay. That means 1 plus 0, it is 1. Then what we need to do? Just multiply this answer with this number. So 1 ones are 1. Right? We need to multiply answer with this number. 1 ones are 1, and that answer we need to write here. Okay. Again we need to use addition subtraction process. Plus minus minus. 2 minus 1, it is 1. Big number sign, negative. Again same thing. We need to multiply this minus 1 with this 1. Okay. So 1 ones are 1. Plus minus minus. That answer we need to write here. Again addition subtraction process. Minus minus plus. 1 plus 1 2. Big number sign, it is negative. Again we need to multiply this minus 2 with this 1. So 2 ones are 2. Plus minus minus. And at last 2 minus 2, 0. We always get here 0. If you do not get 0 here, then there is some mistake in your calculation. Okay. Always here we need to get 0. Okay. So here our coefficients are done. Now how we need to write this. Okay. First of all, this is our constant term. Right? Means how we need to write the answer. So first of all, this constant term minus 2. Then put here x. So minus 1x. And put here x square. 1x square. That means we need to increase the exponent of x. Okay. Again, from the answers, means this answer, first of all write down this constant term. Before that we have minus 1. So here minus 1 and apply x here. Here we have plus 1 and apply x square here. Okay. We need to increase the exponent. So our answer is x square minus x minus 2. Okay. That answer we get here, x square minus x minus 2. That means if we do not want to use the division process, then we can use this method. Okay. We can directly get the answer, x square minus x minus 2. Okay. This is our answer. And after that we need to write this, and further procedure are same. Okay. But if we do not want to use the division method, then we can use this method. But when we can use this method? If our g of x is a linear polynomial, then okay, this is the condition. Okay.